we have another breaking update coming in. As far as Donald Trump is concerned, he has invoked Pearl Harbor in front of Japanese Prime Minister to defend Iran attack secrecy. And that was a big embarrassment. As you can see in the visuals, that is when the two leaders met. And as far as Donald Trump is concerned, he invoked Pearl Harbor in front of the Japanese Prime Minister to defend his attack on Iran. Listen into what he said.
Of course, no, Japan and US are very good friends. But one question, why didn't you tell US allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay? Right? You know, he's asking me, no, you believe in surprise, I think much more so than us. And we had to surprise him, and we did. And because of that surprise, we knocked out, the first 2 days, we probably knocked out 50% of what we, and much more than we anticipated doing. So if I go and tell everybody about it, there's no longer a surprise, right?
Well, let me go across to my colleague Rishabh, who's been tracking all the details. Rishabh, this was the awkward moment at the Oval Office there when the US President Donald Trump and the Japanese counterpart, in fact, they met, leaving her in a very awkward position. Take us through whether any reaction has come from Japan on this.
Well, as of now, Akansha, there hasn't been any reaction that has come in from Japan on this. But if you see post-war, this happens to be one of the biggest diplomatic gaffe that has happened. No one talks about World War II, and reasons are very clear. Why does Germany not talk about World War II? The history has it. Why does Japan don't talk about World War II? The same history has it. 2 nuclear bombs were dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki by United States in 1945. So by invoking Pearl Harbor, Donald Trump in a way has invoked all the memories, the bitter memories that Japan have from World War II. From Pearl Harbor was just a beginning, but it ended in nuclear bombs being deployed and detonated over Japan. Nagasaki and Hiroshima completely decimated. So the reason there was an awkwardness in the room was because both US and Japan doesn't like to address that very thing and wants to move away from it, and somewhere down the line they would have moved on from it as well. But this statement coming in from Donald Trump is something that has re-invoked the memories, and this happens to be a damage that will need a serious consideration to be rebuilt between the two sides.
Absolutely, because Donald Trump invoked very dark moment, very dark history as far as Japan is concerned by invoking Pearl Harbor, leaving the Japanese Prime Minister in a very awkward position. And after that, we're learning that she said that she and Donald Trump were best buddies after Donald Trump made a very poor taste joke about the historic attack on Pearl Harbor. Thanks so much, Rishabh, for getting us all those details. With this, a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.